We're on the home stretch, guys. Welcome to video number 3. So we've already looked at how to build your dream coaching business, how to promote it, and then finally today we're going to talk about how to sell your first 10 clients into your business. Now, our agenda we've already covered is building, promoting, today's selling. Let's do a quick recap of yesterday's session, which was around promo. We looked at marketing. We said that marketing is two things. It's positioning and value creation. We went through your dream client. We went through 25/5 marketing strategies. We also went through organic marketing, paid Facebook ads, the lead ad templates. We went through a heap of stuff, right? It was fantastic. Today is about selling it. And we want to look at what are the roadblocks for sales success. What's the winning sales strategy? It's going to allow you to really win. The 4-part sales process, a 7-figure sales script, and then we're going to pull it all together at the very end and help you create a business plan for 2022. So it's going to be a big session, which I'm very excited about. Now let's talk about quickly why people struggle with sales. Number 1 is they've got limiting money beliefs, like you got to get your own self-worth sorted out. Number 2, they don't have a call structure, so they don't know how to sell, what to say on the phones, what to do. Number 3 is they've got no product confidence. If you're not confident that you can deliver a great result for a client, you're going to struggle to convince anybody to do anything with you, never mind hand over some money. They have an incomplete qualification sequence. It's a fancy way of saying that they don't qualify people, so it's just like anyone can book in a time. There's no protocol there around who to speak to when. There's no parameters. Number 5 is that they have poor transitions between coaching, selling, and closing. There are 3 distinct stages of a sales process, and you need to know how to do that, and they don't know how to do that. Number 6, they have a fear around asking for money. Number 7, they're too empathetic and they don't have any cut through. So as a coach, it's important as a coach to be empathetic, yes, but you also need to make sure that you are the container of the client. You are not in the container with the client. And so if you're too empathetic, you'll connect with them and they'll tell you a story of difficulty and struggle of why they're going to not be able to do something. And you'll go, I totally understand that you want to give everything to them for free. That's beautiful if you want to run a charity, but if you want to run a business, you're going to be able to need to cut through and help them overcome their problems and challenges, which might be time and money, obviously, in terms of growing your business. Then they're poor frames and reframes in terms of building their coaching structures. They have no follow-up on the lead nurture sequence. And then finally, number 10, they have no branding or they have poor positioning in the market. So if you're dealing with any of those 10, don't worry, you're in good company. I'm not going to be able to give you every answer today, but I'll give you a good couple that'll really help you start putting some money in the bank, baby. That's what we want. So the sales strategy is pretty straightforward, right? If we're looking at the bigger picture here, this is our organic marketing strategy. So please excuse my terrible drawings here. You start with your content marketing, right? That's your 25/5 plan. And you're really directing people to do 2 things on the back of that. They either go step 1, they join your Facebook group, which is a tribe group strategy based off our organic marketing, or you do a DM strategy. It's like, hey, if you enjoyed this video, shoot me a DM. From there, you want to direct people to You Can Book Me. That's YCBM. You Can Book Me is a calendar system. You could use Calendly or Schedule Once or Acuity. It doesn't really matter, but we've used in the past You Can Book Me. From there, you get people booked in for a call. They jump on a call and then they'd have a buy or don't buy, right? That's the sales strategy, right? The other part is paid strategy. So you use Facebook and Instagram. You drive traffic. If you're going to do a free coaching session, you drive traffic to a You Can Book Me calendar link. From there, you'd book people into a call. They'd have a buy or don't buy. Or if you're doing a webinar, you drive traffic to a Zoom or a GoToWebinar or a Webinar Jam strategy. They'd attend and then buy or don't buy. And then finally, you might do a 5-day challenge or a 3-day challenge. You'd start with Facebook, you direct traffic to a group, and then they'd watch videos 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And on day 5, they would either buy or don't buy. So at a macro level, that's what the strategy looks like. And of course, at each stage of that process, there's a ton that you need to be across. And obviously as well, there's things that you can start to manipulate. For example, how do you get more people to show up on the call? They book in a call and You Can Book Me, but they might not show up on the call. Obviously, if they don't show, they can't buy. So we can do stuff on what to say on the phone, but we can also do stuff in terms of emails and marketing and templates and text messages to go out to the clients to get the people that book in for a call to show up on the call. Same thing with obviously webinar sequences, same thing with 5-day challenges as well. So that's quite important. So that's our paid strategy. Now, if you are running these campaigns, this is what you're looking for. You want to consider that there are a series of stages that people are going to go through. The first stage is going to be the lead generation stage, where you're effectively going, hey, are you interested? If so, we want name, email, mobile number so we can start a relationship together. It's like if you're picking somebody up at the bar, it's like, hey, maybe you wouldn't ask for their email address, but say, hey, what's your number? you get contact information, there's an intention to do something more. There's no guarantee he or she's going to show up on your date, but now you've got an opportunity to have a conversation, right? So there's leads. From there, the next part is presentations. Consider this to be how many people show up on the date, right? Or how many people you get to have the opportunity to present your opportunity to in a sales environment. And then finally, how many people do you convert, okay? And if we're building that mechanism here, if you're doing a free one-on-one coaching session, traditionally the numbers stack as a 5-3-1 model. So 5 people book a call, 3 people show up on the call, 1 person will buy. If you're doing a challenge, like a 5-day challenge or a 3-day challenge, it's normally 10-3-1. 10 people register for the webinar or the challenge. These are the same numbers for both. They'll register for the challenge or the webinar. 3 people will watch it and 1 person will buy. That gives you a bit of an idea in terms of what to expect there as well. Now, in terms of the sales process, when we're looking at the big picture numbers, what do you say on the phone? What do you do? There's 3 stages as part of this. There's coaching, selling, and closing. Coaching is identifying problems and challenges. It's mapping out a potential vision for the future, and it's understanding the dynamics of where the client's at, so you can sort of navigate and support them in that journey. Selling is then giving them the idea of how you can support them. What does the particulars of that look like? And inspiring somebody to want to move forward in the next step with you. And then closing is effectively completing the enrollment information and asking them for their credit card. So there's 3 stages. When we're looking at a coaching process, we teach what's called the SOAR coaching model. And so that's very simple. Situation, objective, any challenges, and then reasons. So situation is where are you at right now, what's working, what's not working, establishing a bit of a baseline and building rapport, and providing some context for your life at the moment. If you can do this at a higher level, you're looking for relationship status, income, and motivation. Relationship status is if you need to speak to a partner. Income status is, well, how much are you making? And then motivation is, are you ready to go right now? We want to know that up front. Otherwise, we're probably going to waste our time. The next part is objective. What do you want to achieve, right? What do you want? What's the end outcome and why is it important? And a bit of a timeline. Are you wanting to do it right now or in 6 months? And then finally, I want without why. So that might be, hey, I want to lose 10 kilos, but I don't want to diet. So that's really important to get clear on that, because there's not just what we want, it's also what we want without what we don't want. Now, substantial outcomes require substantial investments. So if you're not really clear and like crystal clear on what the client wants, they're probably not going to be crystal clear on why they should give you money. Next piece, any challenges. You're probably a smart person. This is obviously the prospect, not you guys, right? You are, of course, the smart people. But you're a smart person, so what hasn't worked in the past? What have you tried and failed? What are your current frustrations? What's not working? What's holding you back personally and professionally from executing on this? It's also important to identify what are both the spoken or said or stated roadblocks and the unspoken concerns. People naturally will go, hey, if I'm going to go from where I am to where I want to be, there's going to be naturally some stuff that comes up as part of that they're going to have to work through. That's why we're doing this first part as a coaching model. And then finally, reasons. Why now? Why me? And then why will this time be different? Because they probably already had a crack before. Once you've done that, you want to then transition into the selling component. This is where you're going to go through big picture of how you can help them, details of what that looks like in the particulars, an FBO frame, which is feature, benefit, outcome. You'll take a feature of what you offer, you'll communicate the benefits of that to the client, and then how it's going to help them with their end outcome. And from there, you want to do a trial close, which is basically just checking their pulse or their temperature. How's this sounding for you? Would this be a great program? Do you think this would achieve the goals and dreams that we discussed today? Do you think this would be suitable to help you overcome the challenges and frustrations you've had so far? Trial close. And from there, you want to solidify and then transition. So solidify that there's nothing else I need to cover and transition into the close. The close is then very simple. I'll go through time, right? Then go through money, then go through a contrast frame of, hey, this is the value, this is what you're going to get it for, complete the order details, and then the payment details, and then finally celebrate the decision that they've made. So not a difficult process, but you only want to get to the close once you've successfully gone through the coaching element and the sales element. You don't want to be going through the close prematurely, because otherwise you're going to have to get out of the closing mode and into a sales or even worse, coaching mode, and that means you're losing momentum on the sale. Now, we've actually put together a 7-figure sales script. It's a bonus download for you, which you can jump and get access to as well. So just click the link below this video, you'll download that, and it gives you a bit of an overview of each of those different stages and what to say. It's not a script per se, it's more of a structure, but it'll really help you in the journey. So let's bring it all together, right? We've got a 2022 target, which you guys have got. Then we've got our coaching investment. How much does it cost to work with you as a coach? We know that if it's a 6-week challenge, it's probably going to be between $600 and $1,800. If it's a 3 5-pack coaching session, $600 to $1,000 as a starting point, or whatever you currently charge. That gives you clarity on the number of sales that you need. So take your 2022 target and divide it by the investment for clients to work with you. That gives you a number of sales. Then we've got conversion rate and number of leads. Now, number of leads, we know how to do that, organic and paid marketing. But in terms of identifying how many we need, here's a good rule of thumb. So in 2013, UCLA in Berkeley, United States, did a study and found that out of 50,000 people that made a purchasing decision, buying everything from toothpaste to a house, they found that 22.4% of people would purchase no matter what you offered them. They just bought because they wanted to buy. Their impulsive shoppers or purchasers. They had, in the study, found that they had what's called a low buying threshold, meaning that they don't need a lot of convincing to buy. And I know personally I'm one of those people, right? I just love buying shit. So they've got a low buying threshold. On the flip side, they found that on average, about 8 to 10% of people weren't going to buy no matter what you offered because they were never interested in buying. They were either there begrudgingly or they were just sussing stuff out, right? They were just being a nosy neighbor, so to speak. So our goal is to try and get as high as possible, but understanding you're not going to get everybody, but you should get some people. Now, at Wild, what we like to think about this is very, very simple. If you think you're good at sales, when you're doing your projections, do 20%. If you think you're bad at sales, do 10%. Pick whichever one you want. So if you're good at sales, 20%. If you're bad at sales, 10%. Now, you know that that's lower than the industry standard and the numbers that we're talking about, which would be 22.4%. So we're already factoring in growth, but that's what we do. Now, our team here at Wild will convert normally between 50 and 80%. Probably ends up sitting around about 65% on average, but that gives you a pretty good range, right? So that's a good number. I'd like it to be higher, of course, right? Because we don't want to change as many lives as possible. But there's a big difference between your numbers where we're saying, hey, 20% or 10%, and our numbers at 65%. So just so you know, we'll get much better. But when you do your projections, if you're good, 20%, if you're poor, 10%, and that'll give you the number of leads that you need. That becomes your marketing number. Now, how do we go about generating, if we go and look at these, how do we generate 240 people for a webinar this year? Or how do we generate 1,200 people into a Facebook challenge? Or 240 people for free coaching sessions? If you want to go another step beyond this as well, just a bit of a bonus, take that number, divide it by 10 months in the year, because you're going to probably have 2 months a year off anyway, right? Holidays, Christmas, whatever. So divide it by 10 and then divide that number again by 4, and that gives you how many that you need per week. So like worst case scenario, if we look at the numbers here, let's say you want to make 120,000, you've got a $500 coaching package, you need 240 sales. You're okay at sales, so you're going to need 1,200 leads. Now that might be, if you're doing free coaching, that might be 1,200 free coaching sessions. Let me just plug in the math here into the calculator. 1,200, obviously divide by 10, that's easy. It's 120 free coaching sessions a month. Divide that by 4 again, you're at 30 coaching sessions a week. Now they're probably going to be 30-minute sessions, so you're going to times that by 30 minutes, that's 15 hours a week. So effectively what I'm saying is if you were to do 15 hours of free coaching sessions a week, that's not even part-time, you would make $120,000 a year. And then all you have to do is go, how can I find a way to give away 30 free sessions a week to people in the community that want to achieve X outcome? Spend my days doing that. Now, admittedly, 15 hours would be pretty exhausting by the end of it. So what you probably want to do instead is do it on a webinar or a 5-day challenge, or start on a coaching session and move to that later. You get the idea. I know you guys will figure it out. So that's it for us today. I'm going to share with you that link you'll be able to see below in terms of the script, right? But if you want to pull all of this together and look at how to promote your business and how to structure the business and of course how to sell and start getting some coaching clients on board, final chance to be able to book in for one of those sessions with our team. Oh, there we go. Let me go back to that. Final session to go book into one of our coaching teams at time. And we'll go through it all with you. We'll help you package up your genius, be able to create that 100K model. We'll show you how to target your target market, how to stand out online, and then finally how to charge, what to charge. So it's an easy yes. So people want to work with you. That's called strategic pricing. So that's rock solid. And when you want to look at your KPIs and your numbers and ask us obviously any questions, I'm sure you have a ton. Click on the link below, get booked in, and we will see you on one of the calls. Hope you enjoyed this training, guys. Good luck and God bless. And until I see you, be bold, have fun, go make an impact in the world. I'll see you on the wild side. Cheers.